My name's Jake Smith. I'm an inside mid for the Western Jets.
And tell us about how you've sort of reviewed your season so far. Obviously started off and played some really strong footy, got invited to the Vic Metro trial game and then didn't quite make the final squad, and you've come back and played some really strong footy for the Jets. Tell us about that first month firstly and how you sort of review that.
I thought I started the season fairly strong. Obviously, as you mentioned, getting invited to trial for the Metro side. Thought in the trial games I was pretty strong as well. Kicked a few goals, played in a different position and showed that I can play another position apart from inside mid. Not making the side, it got to me a little bit, but I didn't let it affect me, didn't let it drag me down. So I thought over the past couple of weeks my game's improved and gotten heaps stronger, which is what my goal was over that period.
And tell us a little bit about that Metro game. Like you said, it was showcasing you in a different position. Had you had experience in a different position, perhaps as a bottom major or anything like that? I assume at local when you had played, you would have been a midfielder. Given how well you do play, given you are at the Jets, you probably would have been one of the dominant players. Had you had experience elsewhere?
Yeah, going into the Metro game, I was told I was going to be playing on a wing.
Yeah.
Back at local, before playing at the Jets, I was pretty much a half backer, as well as an inside mid. So playing on the wing was kind of new to me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I adapted well though, learnt heaps from the coaches, and showed that I can play that outside mid role, which is good.
And finding out that he didn't make the Metro squad, tell us about the initial reaction there.
The initial reaction hurt quite a bit because obviously that was my goal for the start of the season. But as I said before, ultimately I didn't let it affect me too much. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing how I played now. Just used it as fuel to go out and have a few good games.
Yep. How'd you find out?
Just via email.
Yeah.
So I was out for dinner.
Yeah.
And got the news then.
Yeah. And then from there, how did it sort of snowball into playing some good footy? Were there certain things you wanted to work on? What was the mentality from there?
From there, my head was focused on taking more grass when I went on the field.
Yep.
So when I get the ball, running, taking a bounce, all that kind of stuff. And as I said, I just used it as fuel. So anything I could, just worked harder, got in the gym, just made sure I could increase everywhere I can.
Is that a mentality thing, taking grass, do you think, with how good you are inside the contest? Do you feel like you had that ability prior to getting that sort of feedback, or is that something that you've worked on with the coaches to add a new layer to your game?
I feel like it is a mentality thing, for sure, because I definitely know that I have that skill. It's just when to use it. I thought I lacked in that area. So now, especially in the past couple of weeks, I thought I've really utilised that skill.
How's the community break for you? Obviously, you spent some time with the Vic Metro trial game. Where else did you play, and how was that time?
Throughout that time, I also started training at Werribee Football Club, which I found very, very helpful. Obviously, training with some of the best mids in Victoria, which really improved my game leading into the games that I've just played.
Has there been anyone you've learnt on down there? Obviously led by Michael Barlow, the head coach, and they're playing some good footy as well. And there's some players who are sort of on the radars of AFL clubs as well as mature ages. Is there anyone you have been able to lean on for their craft?
Yeah, for sure. The players include the likes of Thomas Gribble and Don Brew. Those two I thought had a big influence because they play the same position, both hard at it. And yeah, it looks like they've had pretty similar journeys to how I'm going at the moment. So those two for sure.
What were you able to learn off them?
Just a bit on stoppage work, I guess. Just reading off their ruckman if things aren't going our way, which I thought I did well over the past couple of weeks, especially without having the likes of Lucas Impey in our Jets team for the first couple of rounds back. But yeah, just reading the play more, I guess, was a big one.
Yeah, you talk about some of those absences, and Darcy Week's another one this week and has missed some footy this year. Do you feel like you're a leader of the midfield? Is that a feel you get?
I feel like I am a leader in that midfield group. Obviously, throughout the past couple of weeks, Luca Grego has gone back to half back, so I feel like I've stepped up and really took charge in the midfield.
Has that been a conscious thing? Do you feel like you have that voice on field? Is that how you sort of lead, or is it more by action?
I tend to lead more by action, I'd say, but I guess the voice has developed, and I'm starting to like influence others with my voice more than just by action,
Yeah.
which is something I've been working on as well.
Eastern game on the weekend. I know Trent Dennis-Lane, your coach at Western, really spoke up the underdog mentality of the Western Jets, and you're able to get a win, and not only a win, but a really comfortable win over an Eastern side that was probably more highly regarded. Tell us about that, and I suppose you kind of led that win with how much of it you did have and how well you did use it.
Yeah, 100%. I thought as a group we really gelled together on that day. As we spoke about as a club prior to that game, every game we've played this year has been fairly close, and it's just that last quarter that's always got us going down by not many points throughout each round. So definitely on the weekend I thought we gelled well. We really used each other and it showed.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And yourself, how do you reflect on that game now? Obviously, like we talk about missing out on Vic Metro and perhaps, like you say, using it as a little bit of fuel. Were you satisfied with your own performance?
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was probably one of my stronger games throughout the year. I played with a lot of confidence, which is good, especially playing on a few of the people who made the Metro side, like Josh Smill and Cam Nyko, Caleb Windsor, all of those boys. So I thought I held my own in that midfield and really helped the team get the win.
Probably the only other thing would be just setting yourself for the rest of the season. What are the goals you sort of talked about wanting to take grass? Is there anything else you're sort of doing to edge yourself ahead of the rest?
Yeah, I think using my left foot
Yeah.
to my advantage would be another goal of mine. Obviously, I have a good kick,
Yeah.
and I know I have a good kick. It's just being able to use it more and really show that strength.
Is that something you're working on at training? Because certainly when you do speak to clubs and you speak to people in the industry, like you say, it is certainly a strength.
Yeah, I'd say it's one of my strengths, but I tend to handball a lot, so I really narrowed in on that at training. Just trying to use it to the best of my ability.